They say love blinds you. In my case, it nearly cost me everything I ever built. I met Claire when I was 24. She was charming, funny, and made me feel like the world stopped when she smiled. I was just starting my construction company then. I wasn't rich, but I was hungry, and she loved that about me. Or so I thought. By the time I turned 35, we had it all. A lakefront villa, 3 cars, vacations in the Maldives, and a business that made 7 figures a year. People called us the perfect couple. I believed it too. But perfect is often just the calm before the storm. It started small. She became distant. Late-night meetings, constant phone calls, sudden trips to see her mother. I ignored the red flags because I wanted to believe she was still the same woman who used to surprise me with lunch at the office. Then one night, I came home early. Her car was in the driveway, but the lights were dim. I walked upstairs quietly and froze. Through the half-open bedroom door, I saw her. With another man. For a second, I couldn't breathe. My hands shook. My whole body went cold. The man looked up, and it wasn't just anyone. It was my company's project manager. I didn't say a word. I just turned around, walked out, got into my car, and drove aimlessly for hours. When I finally stopped, I realized something. Anger wouldn't save me. Revenge would. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I went home at dawn, pretended nothing had happened, and kissed her forehead like always. That morning, I started building my plan. For weeks, I acted normal. Loving husband. Loyal provider. She had no idea I knew. Meanwhile, I met with my lawyer, my accountant, and my most trusted friend, Daniel. Together, we rewired my entire financial life. I removed her name from all joint accounts, transferred company ownership to a holding trust under my cousin's name, and quietly changed the deed to the house, making it part of a corporate property portfolio. Legally, I no longer owned anything. On paper, I was just an employee earning a salary. 2 months later, the mask slipped. One night, she threw a fake argument over something small and shouted, "Maybe you're not the man I thought you were. Maybe I deserve better." I looked at her calmly and said, "Then maybe you should find better." Her face twisted with shock. She wasn't expecting that. 3 days later, she filed for divorce. And just like that, the war began. In court, she demanded half of everything, half the company, half the properties, half the investments. Her lawyer came prepared, confident, smug. But when the judge asked for asset statements, her attorney's smile faded. My lawyer handed over documents showing that all the assets were owned by separate entities. None in my name, none under marital property. Everything was legally structured long before she filed. The judge turned to her and asked, "Mrs. Bennett, can you provide proof your husband owns any of these properties personally?" She looked lost, speechless. Her lawyer stammered something about intent, but it didn't matter. She walked in expecting to leave as a millionaire. She walked out with nothing but her suitcase and a bitter expression. But I wasn't done. Remember that project manager she was seeing? I had quietly hired a private investigator who documented everything. Photos, messages, even video evidence from hotel stays during work trips. When I presented that in court, the judge didn't just deny her claim. She was ordered to pay me legal restitution for marital fraud and defamation. She had tried to destroy my life, and instead she paid for it, literally. After the trial, I met her one last time at a small cafe near downtown. She looked exhausted, makeup running, the sparkle in her eyes long gone. She whispered, "You planned this, didn't you?" I leaned back, smiled, and said, "No, you planned this." "I just finished it for you," she cried. Said she made a mistake. Said she wanted forgiveness. But betrayal has a way of curing love permanently. I left her there, with her tears and her regrets. Months later, I rebuilt my life completely. I rebranded my company, doubled my profits, and donated part of the earnings to a shelter that helps men and women recovering from abusive relationships. Because what I learned through all this was simple. Love is powerful, but respect is everything. The moment someone disrespects your loyalty, they don't deserve your mercy. One evening, I stood at the balcony of my new penthouse overlooking the city, the same city where she had tried to break me. I smiled, not because I won, but because I finally understood my worth. See, Revenge doesn't mean destroying someone else's life. It means rebuilding yours so high that they can never reach it again. So, if you're listening to this, remember, sometimes silence is the loudest revenge, and sometimes walking away and with a plan is more powerful than any argument. Because when betrayal burns, you don't fight fire with fire, you drown it in success.